Well, good morning and welcome, Priscilla Morgan from Kaleidescape, COO,
COO. Fancy title.
fancy title.
It's just a title, Mike.
It is just a title, yeah. I feel again very privileged to be doing a podcast with you this morning. Lots of questions for you. I know that our audience will be fascinated by your story, so I'll do my best to ask the right questions.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Yeah, to
And
try and draw that out of you.
and thank you for welcoming us.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Very grateful for that.
It's we obviously we met at in the US, and we came along to your beautiful stand that you put together there, and then we went out for dinner and we chatted, and I think we quickly worked out that we had a lot in common, right?
Our core values are exactly the same.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. We when you arrived in London, our first stop off was Clive Christian, and we met with the guys over at Invision, some of the staff there, and what did you think? It's beautiful, right?
Absolutely stunning. I walked through and I felt calm, peace, and awe. And I loved how you opened that meeting, which is your whole vision is to do something for others.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's exactly what you're about. That's what we're about. And I thought that was a perfect start to an amazing week that you've planned for us.
Oh, that's great. That's really good to hear. From there, we went on to the Manotti Showroom, didn't we? And you met with some dealers there. How did you get on? What did you think?
Great questions.
Yeah, any difficult ones?
All of them are difficult. If everyone comes from a different vantage point,
Yeah,
you can really understand kind of where they're coming from, who their customer base is, who sold Kaleidescape recently, and then also who comes from the old Kaleidescape.
yes,
But the one thing that I thought was really great is as we continue to talk, the other dealers were answering my questions.
right, yeah, yeah,
Because, like, someone would say, well, how do I go about it when someone has a budget? Or even the rich think it's too much. And then I said, have you demoed it? Oh. And then all the other fellow dealers are like, well,
yeah,
then you didn't do your job.
yeah, exactly
It
that.
was wonderful.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these guys, if you think about it, a lot of them have been doing this for a long time, right?
Yes.
40 years, been in the industry for some of them. And they've been around the block. I think that's part of the problem, though, with Kaleidoscape is that it was a very, very easy product to sell when it was Premier Line. And there was nothing else to sell. There was nothing else like it. There was almost a sort of a degree of arrogance about the product. It was like, well, if you want the best, then this is the only option for you. Even though I feel the same now, because I feel like if you want the best quality, Kaleidoscape is the only option. I think people do perhaps believe that, Sky or Apple or, using another platform is okay. I would argue it's not. I would argue if you want the best, then you need to start with the best, which is Kaleidoscape. But I think that some of the dealers that have been around for a while have got perhaps preconceived ideas, and I wanted you to come over with Tim, and I wanted you to re-engage with our dealers and just
I'm
sort of
so
talk
glad.
about the new story, right? We're actually having our best year ever with
Yes, you are.
Kaleidoscape, best month in history
Incredible
of
growth
yeah,
in this economy.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. And I think it's down to what we've done with Manotti, Clive Christian, our showroom here at Pulse at Stansted. Just it's all about the experience, getting
Yes,
people in front of the product. Is it similar in the States?
it is similar, and that's the best way to go. So I'm going to touch a little bit on Apple. This came up yesterday,
Hmm.
and they're like, well, is Apple TV a competitor? I'm like, it's an apple and an orange. And then people would say, well, are you expensive? I said, well, do you start with price or do you start with experience? And what I loved about like your showroom, you don't get into the bits and bots. You walk in and you have three different experiences and you demo it.
Yeah,
You talk about it. You bring the audience in and they're relaxed. And then your question is, how do you feel?
yeah, absolutely right.
So I think that's, whether it's in the US or here, it is about the experience.
Yeah.
And that is a very different sell. You're selling the experience, you're selling the source, you're selling not just Kaleidescape, but what it does to your whole room, that is the source, and you're selling kind of the content. And does it take you away?
Absolutely. We talked a lot when I was out in the States and since about exclusively connect and about our kind of vision for bringing dealers and luxury brands together and aligning what it is that we do with other luxury brands. And we put together a lovely dinner at Sub-Zero. And then after that, you met with, I think, 65 exclusively connect partners back up at Clive Christian. How was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And Graham, who opened it up, has the same mantra that you have.
Well, we're best friends, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. He talks about a collaboration. And, you know, and when you talk to all the different partners, even like Phil at Clive Christian, it's all about collaboration.
Absolutely.
Can we do something together? Can we help one another? Can we showcase our best brands for the end consumer to bring kind of all the experiences to life? We don't talk money.
Yeah.
It's not about how much is this and that. It's about the collaboration and how we can help each other. And you've launched that concept in the U.S. now, in New York.
Yeah.
You should be very proud.
Yeah, well, do you know I am secretly?
You don't need to be a secret about it.
No, I really. When we had the first call with, sorry, Tim, who was the guy that?
Ed Gilmore.
Ed Gilmore. Sorry, yes, Ed, wonderful guy, and he's going to be one of the founders, as I was, of Exclusively Connect in the States, and I know you guys are going to get heavily involved.
We're coming.
In the concept.
Even if we're not invited. We're going to be there in February.
Yeah, no, so you should. I really have got high hopes for what you're going to do over there with the concept. I think it's going to be wonderful. So you met with 65 Exclusively Connect partners. Today, back at Pulse, we've got a lunch. We've got our Thai chef out there cooking food for us. You're going to meet with all of our team, some more of the Invision team, and a few more dealers as well. And then this evening, we're going on to Invision Flicks in London to meet with 85 dealers. I think we're watching Die Hard.
There we go.
In a big cinema there. And that leads me on to just talking about a bit of your past, if you don't mind. Talk to us about Dolby. That was exciting, right?
It was incredible. So before this, I spent almost 20 years at Oracle.
Right.
And over 10 years at Dolby.
Yeah.
So what's been amazing about this is I have yourself, I have Tim, who are industry veterans.
Yeah.
I'm not an industry veteran. I come from tech meets entertainment.
Yeah.
And so my approach to everything is outside in. Dolby's an incredible company with an incredible family, and it's all about the experience.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm bringing back here.
Yeah.
The love for the movies. And that's what I'm really passionate about. And with Kaleidescape, it's all about movies, it's concerts, it's TV, and it's, for me, it's the escape from world.
Yeah.
You know, after a long day, just want to chill out.
Definitely. I personally think it was a genius move putting a COO into a position without that kind of that history and that conditioning of being in the industry for all of those years. I think somebody coming in fresh with the knowledge of Dolby and the knowledge of films, and I think that's a genius move, and I think you're going to do incredibly well.
Well, thank you.
And already have done incredibly well. Doing what you do there at Kaleidescape. So give us a little bit more background to what you actually did when you were at Dolby, because I know that you had quite an impact, right?
Well, yes. So I joined right after they went public, and I was there for an incredible journey. And it was just a wonderful ride. That I was hired just to run all of sales ops worldwide. So really kind of on the licensing content, kind of the support business end to end, and the cinema business. And one of my final things that I did at Dolby was, and that's where I met my husband.
Ah, good.
Yes.
I met him actually at dinner, didn't I, when
He's
we
a
were out in the
wonderful man.
US? A really nice guy.
He's
Yeah.
a wonderful man,
Yeah.
and he's in the industry.
Mm.
You know, he actually was the SVP of Dolby Cinema, of cinema business for Dolby.
Yeah.
And I was with him, and I ran the operational side, and we launched Dolby Cinema together. So every time I walk into a Dolby Cinema, my heart stops.
Yeah.
And then actually in my home theater, I have an homage to Dolby Cinema.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the everything that we've done at Dolby. I feel like at Kaleidescape, you get to bring that experience home.
Yeah.
And the love for the movies, and the love for not just the recent releases, but the old movies, and experience it all over again.
That's wonderful.
And then with Kaleidescape, and thank you for your compliment, I think, you know, Taylor's an incredible CEO.
Yeah.
I was on their board a couple years before I joined them. And what he wanted me to do was bring all the go-to-market functions together and really have it be synergized with the customer first.
Yeah.
So it's sales, marketing, customer engagement, content, content relations, and operations and support. Yeah. So all of it with a consumer first. And then with you guys as distributors and dealers, you guys are our partners. Yeah. So it's our job to listen. It's our job to bring brand awareness to help you.
Yeah, I've got to say, Tim and Norma came over to the UK earlier in the year, and we had a fabulous time together, as we're having on this trip. But it was very apparent to me that the company's ethos, if you like, had changed, and it just felt like more of a family. But at the same time as feeling like a family, it felt like a bigger, more professional business. And for me, that's a really, really good mix. And it's something that, you know, in the last few months, we've been acquired, as you know, by Midwich.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And the reason why we made that move was because we could kind of see ourselves sort of floating around a certain turnover, and we weren't making the progress we needed to make, and we needed to partner up, buddy up with a company that really kind of could really see our vision and wanted to go on that journey with us. And that has already in the last couple of months been amazing. And you get to meet them on Friday. You'll get to meet Stuart and some of the team there. I think that what you'll see is us growing together. I think you'll see a much bigger professional company in Pulse.
Yes.
And I think we're already seeing that in Kaleidescape. And we've said that we're acting more like partners together than we are as manufacturer, distributor, which in my view is very, very important.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, my background too, I'm an ex-CFO, CPA. So yes, I am very numbers driven to make sure that what we're looking at is responsible.
Yes.
And I think when you look at growth and look at where we're going to go, and I know you feel this, you have a responsibility to not only your company, but everyone that works for you, and everyone that's bought your product. You know, so I think that it's not just people that work for us at Kaleidescape, which I have an incredible team.
Yeah, you
but
really
what
do,
about,
by the way. Yeah.
You know, all the thousands of people that have our product, the 20,000 screens we have out there. We're responsible. We want them to continue to grow with us. You know, they've invested in our product. It's our job to make sure they have longevity and really enjoy the content over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely right. Something I want to use the conversation to communicate is that when I took the acquisition and have moved into my new role, the new role is very much about being customer facing.
Yes.
Doing more events, going out and seeing more of our customers, our dealers, helping them to market themselves, helping them to get to that next level of business. And I know you're really passionate about that well, right? Just getting closer to the customer. And that's why you were desperate to come over to the UK to really get close to the people that love your product.
You're absolutely right. And I've made a lot of changes in the organization, and the changes I've made is precisely that, is to make sure that you have people that's your leadership team that know exactly what you feel.
Yeah.
What does the customer feel? You know, I spend a lot of time on the road. I'm very excited to be here. I'm on the road for 2 weeks. I get home to just do some wash and then go back. And then I head back to San Francisco and LA.
Yeah.
But if I'm not on the road talking to the people that matter, that are closest
Yeah.
to our customer, then I'm doing something wrong.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely a partnership. Because now you have a face behind an email.
Yeah.
If you need something, you have someone to call.
Definitely. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I know that whenever we think about doing a video cast, getting on camera, it's all a little bit daunting.
I tried so hard to get out of this, and you just persisted.
I do. That's one of my my superpowers.
Well, you are great at it.
Thank you. But we've got a few more bits to do. We've got a lovely lunch, as I say, with the Thai chef. You're going to meet some more dealers. We're up to Invision Flicks this evening. You're going to be seeing one of our dealers' new showrooms, and we're going out for dinner in London, and you're meeting Midwich. So we've still got quite a lot in front of us. Might be time for another podcast to kind of, ensure that we get on camera all the experiences of the rest of the week.
Okay.
But so far, so good, right?
It's been incredible. And don't forget, I have a great team. So we got to share that wealth of podcasting.
Definitely. Wonderful to talk to you.
And thank you for having us. I'm very grateful for you and all you do.
Oh, thank you.